Welcome back everyone to another monthly recap. With the recent news of Sony killing physical media for PlayStation in 2028, we deem it even more important to inform you about the quality of existing physical releases. So let's look at some of our highlights and check out which games you will be able to own and play long after PlayStation has abandoned ownership. Here is our DoesItPlay database recap for June of 2026. First on the list is Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition for the Nintendo Switch 2. While we did find some problems, they were not major enough to hamper the gameplay experience. The only issues of note are occasional pop-in with objects and NPCs, and some AI-related bugs that caused friendly NPCs not to board their skulls during boss fights. We also saw some enemies spawn really close to the camera. No frame rate issues or crashes were observed by our testers. A very stable experience overall to kick this recap off. Next up is Spellcaster University for PlayStation 5. While we had a great experience with this one overall, we did encounter some noteworthy issues with the title, such as some stages having pathing errors with allies and enemies. Usually this is not game breaking, but we still recommend to limit what you build on the first floor and build upwards to sidestep the problem. From magic to spacey, next up is High on Life Nintendo Switch 2 Edition. The good news is that it is content complete and includes the DLC. However, despite the delay leading up to the physical release, it still did not live up to our expectations. Firstly, there is noticeable input latency, made worse by frame rate dips in most combat encounters. We also noticed some softlocks in which the game would take upwards of 2 minutes to register that all enemies had been defeated. We also encountered some texture pop-in issues on stationary objects, and some situations where shadows would appear and disappear close to the camera, as well as one instance where a dead character was standing in place as if they were alive. A few more minutes in the oven could have worked wonders for this release. This seems to be part of the High on Life experience though. We also tested the sequel, High on Life 2, on PlayStation 5 Pro. To our surprise, not even the stronger hardware could masquerade certain issues. We encountered characters not speaking upon interaction, noticeable traversal stuttering, and even heavy frame drops during several boss fights. We also had to add several other visual issues to the list of complaints, like flickering water or low-resolution shadows. We have a full game on the disc, but it is a less than stellar experience. Back to the positive Switch 2 vibe. We have Lollipop Chainsaw Switch 2 Edition, specifically the Japanese release of Repop. It comes with version 1.17 on card, and we had very little issues with the game beyond some light but noticeable frame rate dips, and a couple of instances of an enemy and the player getting stuck in objects. A restart from the checkpoint was enough to fix it, with minimal progress lost. The Switch 2 edition also includes an inclusive gun shooting mode on the cartridge, which is accessible after beating the main game. Most of the content from the game's various patches is here too, with the only exceptions being a couple of costumes. Good enough for us. You want more Xbox tests too? Here you go. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 on Xbox One is a prime counter-argument for a lot of misconceptions about physical media. Not only is it an Xbox release that is fully on disc, in addition it also doesn't even have a patch. Our playthrough via Series X backwards compatibility wasn't entirely without flaws. We encountered a bit of pop-in and some audio lines glitching, but those are smaller hiccups in the grand scheme of things. Overall, we can still recommend this release. Okay, yes, there are also Xbox releases that don't hold up that well. Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate suffers more from the general plague that seems to have befallen fighting games though, than from being an Xbox release. In bad old tradition, minor pieces of add-on content are still missing from this not quite Ultimate Edition. On top, there are modes like the Crypt and Time Towers, as well as some unlockables that are tied to being online. However, there is also a lot of positive news here. Almost all of the released DLC since the original Mortal Kombat 11 release has made it onto the disc. So there is a ton of content to enjoy despite the downsides. But speaking of which, since this release is labeled for Series X and Xbox One, it is slightly disappointing that only the Xbox One version is available without downloads. Not a brutality, but not a flawless victory either. Let's close the Xbox excursion with a good one. Yakuza 3 Remastered, released through limited run games. Contrary to the PS4 releases of the series, they actually kept their promise for Xbox and delivered a build with the latest patch included on disc. So it is no surprise that we didn't have much to note. Occasional pop-in that doesn't really take away from the experience, and an instance of an enemy hovering during a fight is all we found to mention in our report. It is a great release and a great way to experience this chapter of Kiryu's epic journey. Next up, we have Rock Band 4 for PlayStation 4. We are happy to report that this game had no noticeable issues whatsoever. It is a great example that music licenses can escape destruction when pressed onto a physical copy. This one will bring you joy for many years to come. If you're looking to let out your inner wannabe rockstar, we can highly recommend it. Speaking of titles we can recommend, one of the most requested tests for this past month is a lovely new 2D HD release, The Adventures of Elliot: The Millennium Tales. We couldn't resist and just had to give the PS5 release a go, and thank God we did. We had a great time with it. I mean, just look at it, it's really cool. And outside of a bit of pop-in, we basically encountered no noteworthy issues. This is definitely a keeper. Next up, we have Broken Sword: Shadow of the Templars Reforged. This remaster of the 90s classic is sure to bring back some nostalgia with its classic point-and-click style. While we did encounter some minor slowdown in cutscenes, some character sprites overlapping at times, and rare occasions of subtitles not quite matching the spoken dialogue, none of these issues got in the way of the enjoyment of this title. This remake comes with a few changes in terms of gameplay compared to the original though. There is a discussion to be had whether that is a good or a bad thing. But for what it is, this PS5 release is well preserved on its own. We'd also like to give a thank you to Red Hat Games for providing a review copy to us. Last but not least, we have AILA, or Isla. However, for PlayStation 5. We did notice some frame rate stuttering towards the latter half of the game, along with some minor bugs like visual shimmering. In some cases we also observed enemies getting stuck in walls, as well as some subtitles not matching spoken dialogue. The occasional texture issue or missing model also made it onto our list of notes. Regardless, we didn't find anything game-breaking, and the release is still solid for the most part. We'd also like to thank Super Rare Games for providing us with a review copy for this test. Like every month, we get so many new reports to our database, and because of that we won't have time to showcase each and every single one. So for full written reports on these games, as well as the ones we couldn't fit in this video, you can go check out our database for yourself over at DoesItPlay.org. And if you don't want to miss any test, or just want to support our video creation efforts, our Patreon is the place to be. Click the link in the description to learn more. We also would like to thank all existing supporters. You make these videos possible and help us grow and evolve every time. Which of the games from this recap did you play? Or are you planning to check out now that you know a little more about their builds? Tell us in the comments and also let us know which physical games releasing in July you would like to see us cover. See you next month everyone, and have a good one.